I wanted to share a story of how I learned how to set boundaries because it could help you. It was a new concept for me this year, which is pretty crazy because I'm 27. And it helped me a lot. And after a year of doing boundaries, I'm way happier and healthier, calmer, more peaceful. Yeah, but it was painful at the beginning. So to start, I used to find security and approval and validation in relationships and friendships. I don't think I was doing this consciously. It was just like a default mode that I've been doing ever since I was a kid of like finding people, becoming friends with them, and then like finding security and safety within that group. But I learned that I would make like their feelings the priority and my responsibility. And I felt like I had to resolve everybody's discomfort at the expense of my own well-being. So, for example, I um, I used to have this friend group where we would drink and go out all the time in college and go crazy. And over time, I changed, and I was like, I can't drink anymore. It makes me really sleepy, and it's not healthy. It's just poison. Yeah, it's like I have no interest in doing that anymore. And one of my friends invited the group to go to Atlantic City to gamble and drink, go crazy. And I said no because I didn't have the financial resources at the time to afford a trip. And I didn't want to drink and I didn't want to gamble because I was low on money. So I said no, which was good. I set a boundary. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then my friend like called me, reached out, and kind of like pressured me into going. And he was even offended, saying that I wasn't going, perceiving it as like a threat to the friendship, and said I should apologize to him and to the group for not wanting to go. Which now looking back, I'm like, that's too far. But in the moment, I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I just, I apologize for speaking my truth to him because I was trying, and within my conversation with him on the phone, I was just trying to resolve his feelings and make him feel better. And really, like, in that call, I was just like, I just want him to feel better. Like, I don't need to, like, say my truth or push back, even though this doesn't feel good. For me, I was just like, I'm sorry. And then he was like, oh, I feel way better. I was like, yeah, no problem. I hung up. I was like, yeah, I did it. I like fixed his feeling. And then in the moment, I felt good because I was like, yeah, I resolved that. But it left me this lingering dissatisfaction because I didn't speak up my truth in that encounter, and then it degrades the relationship. So I should have pushed back there. But it's also information that it's a red flag for the relationship in general. Anyways, um, so that was Josh before. And then I did therapy. And I don't want to like sneak you into like a therapy video where it's like, you should do therapy. I hate those ads. They're so bad. It's like I'm just doing my own thing. And it says like, stop, do therapy. It's like, feels too aggressive to me. So this isn't that. I don't want you to feel like I'm like, do therapy. Do it. Do therapy. No, that would be too much. Um, but I did therapy. Let me tell you, it was really amazing. But I think you need the right therapist. Fuck, I sound like one of those ads. Okay, I'm not trying to, I swear to God. It's the last thing I want to do. So I did therapy. um, and I learned about boundaries. What are boundaries? It's when you are living your truth, someone wants something of you or asks something of you, and you want to say no. And you say no. And the formula that I found helpful is if you push back and say no in a way that's kind, honest, and direct. So it's very clear what you want and what you don't want, it's said in a kind way, so you're not being like reactive or defensive, like, no, why would I ever want to do that with you? Or like, you're not like trying to hurt the other person, and you're being honest with yourself and with them about your truth. And then their reaction emotionally is their reaction. You have no control over other people's feelings. Other people's feelings are their responsibility, and it has nothing to do with you. And just learning that was so liberating. It blew my mind. I was like, wow, okay, I need to try that. Because in the past, I would take other people's feelings as my responsibility, try to resolve their feelings, and I would be kind, but I would not be honest, and I would not be direct. I would just be kind and cater to their feelings. And it would just leave resentment. And ultimately, because I'm not expressing my truth over time, like it leads to like passive aggressive behavior where you're not being honest and speaking your truth, and then it just like boils up and it comes out in ways that are maladaptive. Um, so I see it as a spectrum. It's like on the low end is like passive aggressive ways of communication or speaking your truth, because in the moment you don't want to be like, you don't want to push back, so you don't. But then it still needs to come out of you, and then it comes out in like a bad form. That's passive aggressive. And then the middle, which is the good path, is kind, honest, direct. And then on the other side is like being a jerk, uh, like prioritizing your needs over other people, yes, or like setting a boundary, but doing it in a way that's unkind, and in some ways to like hurt other people's feelings intentionally. I've seen that a lot. It's like no, and like I'm better than you, and like I'm okay if I make you feel bad. Um, so the middle path, like kind, honest, direct, is a good way to go about it. So I practiced it, and it was very challenging at the beginning. Um, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna set a boundary here, kind, honest, direct. I did it, and then sometimes the other person would have a negative emotional reaction, and I just have to sit there and let them go through their process. And it was hard. It was... But every time I did it, eventually the other person would come back and then apologize and say, hey, like, thank you for being honest with me and sorry for reacting that way. And then we'd be on the same page, and it builds mutual respect in the relationship, and the relationship would grow. Yeah. Tying it back to that original friend who I had the altercation with in the past, where I was like, all right, I don't know what a boundary is. I'm not going to set one. I ended up getting married. Not to brag. I got married, and I let that group know. I was like, hey, I'm getting married. Like, this is the date. I'd love for you to come if you're available. Um, and then he didn't reach out on the wedding and didn't say anything. Like, he was just gone. So I was like, okay, so just lets me know where we're at. Weddings are interesting because it makes you audit all your relationships and friendships, because you're like, well, I'm having this wedding. Like, who do I invite? Who's like important enough to invite? Who do I want to like pay for the seat to invite? And who will show up? So it like cleans the slate on all friendships. You're like, all right, well, we were friends then, and that's okay. I'm gonna leave that in the past and honor it, but move forward. So get married. Uh, anyways, so I got married. It was amazing. I'm very happy. And then several weeks go by. He reaches out to apologize. He's like, hey, and I get on a call with him because I care about him. I was worried about him. He reached out. He's like, hey, can we talk? I was like, okay, are you okay? And he's like, hey, I'm sorry for not reaching out. He felt betrayed that I didn't like consult with him before getting married and think it through with him. Uh, because in the past, like I'd use him as a soundboard to think through ideas. Uh, and I think it's like an overreach. But I was just like, I forgive you. It's fine. Like, there's no negative feeling. And then he was like, let's meet every 2 weeks to have a check-in. And this is where I had to set a boundary, because I was like, honestly, I don't want to do that. I love this guy. We had an amazing past together for a long time, but I need to focus on my life right now. And there's things that he needs to work through, and it just takes up too much mental energy for me. which is really hard for me. It's like really hard for me to like let go of people or to set a boundary. So I set a boundary, but I didn't do it in like a reactive negative way. And I did it in a way to honor the friendship. I was like, look, I love you and I appreciate you and the times that we had together. I don't have the availability to meet on a regular cadence right now. I need to focus on my life and my family. And that's all I said. And it was so hard for me to say that. And I was like, how is he going to respond? And he responded really well. He's like, don't worry, I understand. Let's go. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's just, it's like I didn't want to like hurt or disappoint somebody that I love and care about, and like a friend who I've had like really amazing experiences with in the past. But then over time, it's like our lives change and it just doesn't become a fit anymore on a regular basis. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you or care about you. So yeah, that was hard for me. But afterwards, more space in my life opened up for relationships that are in better alignment for this current season, with who I am right now. So when you say no to something, you're really saying yes to something else. And that no was difficult to get out, but afterwards, the space that's been in my life and the happiness that I've had, it's been much greater. And it's only increased over time. So that's my story. Boundaries, express them in a kind, honest, direct way. And you don't have to let go of people with anger. I know a lot of people who have handled breakups poorly and done so in a very like negative, reactive way. Like, you did this, you hurt me, and like kind of like a tantrum because they feel like this pain in them and then assign it to the person. And they're like, you did this to me, you did this. But you can let go of people with love and honor and cherish what you had while also being honest with where you're at and that there's not a path going forward. And let go of them with love. And you'll feel better. So, hope that helps. Hopefully it didn't sound like a better up ad because I hate them. And I'm so sorry that I added one in the middle. Tool therapy. God damn it, tool therapy. No. It helped me, but whatever. All right. Happy New Year. 2026 is our year. Set boundaries.